It's grown from just a local event to become a regular stop on the world tour and is favoured by one of surfing's most fearless riders, PERROW.
What exactly goes into an event like this?
This event takes a lot of behind-the-scenes work. We have a really strong support from the local community, which is fantastic. We have almost 100 people flying in from around the world to put this event on and bring our broadcast, our production. We fly in about 4 tons of equipment, so we have a huge amount of kind of expertise and equipment that comes in here, and then the surfers turn up, and that's all we need. We need the magic of the waves to be here, and Jeffreys Bay is a really special place, a unique wave, really challenging and something that offers really high performance surfing, and people love coming to this part of the world because it's absolutely stunning and one of the favourite waves of the surfers on tour.
Known for his aerial flips and big wave surfing, Australian Josh Kerr is a fierce competitor.
Josh, you guys spend a lot of time on tour together. What is the dynamic like between the surfers?
Between us surfers, we're all enemies in the water, obviously. On land, we have a pretty good dynamic. Definitely when we're in the water, though, there's not much talking going on, no matter how good of friends you are with your competitor.
What do you love about JBay?
JBay's a special place, you know. Obviously, we're in the African wilderness here, you know. Really cool town, great people. The wave itself is just insane. It's like, when it's doing its thing, it's roping down the point, it's like a spectacle, you know, 7 wonders of the world. And when you're surfing it, I always say, you never go as fast on a wave as you do here, because just how down the line it is and how much speed you can hold through all your turns, it's really special.
Local hero Jordy Smith's wins here took him to world #1 in 2010.
You know, it's JBay, so I know that the waves are out there, and so you got to kind of wait for the better waves, and you've really got to surf out of your skin, you know, to get some big scores. It feels incredible to be home, you know. And of course, with the crowd behind you, it gives you that added confidence. Every time you do a big turn, you can hear the commentators and, you know, those big floaters at the end, everyone kind of erupts. So it's, it's a warm feeling, and, you know, I love being home, and, you know, the freezing cold mornings and the windy weather, and, you know, those warm showers after your early morning surfs. Everything like that just makes it feel at home for me. It's a time for me to just be able to let my hair down and relax and just surf.
Hawaii's John Florence first surfed at the age of 5 and at 13 became the youngest surfer to compete professionally in the Van's Triple Crown.
John, I understand you and your family love coming to our beautiful country.
I've been coming here with my family since I was a little kid, and it's just such an amazing place. There's so many things to do, you know, whether you're down in Cape Town or up in Durban, and just there's here in JBay, and there's just so many different kinds of waves, from point breaks to beach breaks to slabs and everything like that. And then, you know, you have the animal parks, and kind of just get to keep busy every single day and do things that you can't do anywhere else in the world.
What is it about this wave that just captivates you?
I think the special thing about this wave is just like how fast you get going on it. You know, there's no other wave in the world where you're going as fast as you do out here on when there's waves. It's pretty amazing how perfectly set up this point is. So I think there's no other wave really like it in the world for speed-wise.
The biggest fish here was inaugural JBay Open winner and 11-time world champion, American Kelly Slater.
Kelly, you are at the pinnacle of your career. You hold just about every title. How do you still bring your A game?
You know, this is one of those contests where you can really display what you have. You know, your power, your style, your speed, the flow between maneuvers, the variety, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, to me, there's a way that kind of shows, you know, all your faults but all your strengths at the same time. So it's going to come down to just going out and trying to have fun surfing.
You've come to South Africa a few times. What other parts have you explored?
Well, I used to spend a lot of time in Durban, actually, in the 90s, and surfed a lot of competitions there. I have a lot of friends from that area. I got a bunch of friends down in Cape Town too. I go down there occasionally. Last year I went over into the desert in the west and drove around for a bit and camped, and that was fun. But, you know, JBay was that first place I came and really got to see what Africa was about.
Where do you think South Africa's level of surfing is compared to the rest of the world?
10 years ago, there's a very strong crop of young guys. And now Jordy Smith's the peak of that. He's sort of the pinnacle of South African surfing at this point. But you have a history, you know, from the Sean Thompsons and Mike Bernesses and, you know, going back to Martin Potter, and, you know, there's been a great history of really good surfers from this country, great surfers from this country.
Where do you think surfing as a professional sport is going?
I mean, surfing is just expanding in all the different directions, really, because you have, obviously, the small wave game is getting more radical, more fast, and you know, bigger airs and that kind of thing, rotations, flips. But then you have You have guys just strictly chasing giant waves. You have guys just strictly chasing really gnarly slab waves around the world, really dangerous sort of waves. And everyone's pushing that limit. The things guys are riding now, you couldn't have believed 20 years ago guys would be riding, or even 10 years ago probably. But there's really nothing's off limits at this point.
Once known as surfing's mild-mannered madman, KIEREN PERROW is now the tour commissioner.
So the judging process is quite complicated. How do you score the contestants?
Surfers are scored out of 10. We have a panel of 9 international judges and 5 always sitting in the booth at one time judging, and a priority judge. So priority judge allocates who is allowed to take the waves, and the surfers then take turn based on that. And the scores are anywhere between 0 and 10, 10 being perfect. And the 5 judges put in their score, and the highest and lowest are taken off, and the others are averaged to give one of the surfers scoring rides. And in every heat, there's a surfer's 2 best rides are scored to give the total, and then one surfer advances out of each of those heats.
In 2015, it was very nearly the last wave for Australian triple world champ Mick Fanning. In the final with Julian Wilson, Mick was attacked by what is thought to have been a great white shark. With the attack unfolding live on camera, it looked as if he had been pulled under. Luckily, the shark bit Mick's leash, freeing him to swim away whilst at the same time turning back to defend himself from further attack. Incredibly, he was unharmed. Both Mick and Julian were picked up by the event's safety boats, and a year later, Mick returned to compete again.
Obviously, you were in the finals last year, which was cancelled. It must be such a sweet victory to come back and finish some unfinished business.
Yeah, definitely. That was the whole point of coming here, is trying to right some wrongs. And JBay is such a special place, and so many amazing people here, and the wave's incredible. So yeah, it feels really special, and it's great to surf against Julian as well. And every sort of special moment. So it's cool.
Mick had made peace with the ocean, and everyone else had enjoyed the magic of JBay.